When I was in school, I really looked forward to lunch every day. The thought of that being someone's only meal for the day is a true eye-opener. I know when I was in public school, I would look forward to the juice packets and the salads and the chicken tenders and all the other foods that you get for lunch. Today, I will persuade you about why public school students should get free lunches. The reasons I should think they should get free lunches are that those meals may be the only thing that the student eats for the day. A decent amount of students cannot afford a daily school lunch, and without a school lunch, the student will not be able to perform to their highest potential. The first point I have is that the meal might be the only thing the student eats for the day. A reduced lunch is a lunch that has money taken off of it by an organization or someone that is willing to pay for the student's lunch. The U.S. has about 50.8 million students in public school today. This is a source from the government, and around 30 million of those students meet the requirements for a reduced lunch. So with so many students meeting the requirements for a reduced lunch, there's obviously a problem that needs to be resolved, and I think this resolution would be giving students free lunches in public schools. Also, if attending school is a law, and students are forced by the government to receive an education, shouldn't they also be fed by the government if they are forced to be in there? Because why should a student be forced to be in school but also not have enough money to pay for lunch? The state of Florida, and also all around the country, requires you to attend school from a young age to somewhere in your mid-teens as an age. But the state of Florida specifically requires you to attend school from the age of 6 to 16. Also, another point is some students cannot afford a daily lunch. So the average school lunch cost for public schools is $2.34 for elementary school and $2.74 at the high school level. So over time, this price will add up and it'll become a bigger number throughout your years of school and during the year. And this will most likely drain your parents' money a little bit, especially if they are not have a high income like a lot of people. But this price can affect your parents a lot, and it can really hurt their income and take out a lot of it. So instead of taking money out of somewhere else, they will take money out of their lunch and they won't pay for their kids. And the kids will go through days hungry, not eating at school because their parents will not pay for their lunches. A program that can help with this, though, is the National School Lunch Program, also known as the NSLP. In 2017, around 22 million students were helped daily by the NSLP. The National School Lunch Program does not give lunches for free, however, they just take money off of it. So if you're buying a lunch for $2.34 today, they might take off 40 cents a day, so it will be way cheaper that way. So it's only a small percentage, but it can help some, but it cannot really help the poor who really, really need it, who are well below the poverty line. Without lunch, and my last point is, without lunch, students will not be able to perform to their highest potential. The food given to the children at lunch enables them to absorb as much information they are taught each day. However, if they are on an empty stomach, they will not be able to focus that much on the food. They will not be able to focus that much on the school. However, they will be thinking about their empty stomach, the grumbling, and how hungry they are. So that school day will just basically be a waste. School lunch is also, as you can guess, critical to health and well-being. So if a student is going hungry throughout the day, then they are obviously not healthy, but they're still not retaining all the information they can. And the school lunch also ensures that the student has all the nutrition they need throughout the day. Research shows that receiving free or reduced price lunches reduces food insecurity, obesity rates, and poor health, says the FRAC. And this was also a research done by the National School Lunch Program, which I talked about earlier, which helps students. So this is pretty obvious, but if you're not eating, you're going to be unhealthy. But if you're eating too much, you're still probably going to be unhealthy. But a reduced price in school lunch and a set price for each you can get, given free, can help you a lot. Also, there's effects of hunger. If a student is hungry throughout the day, then his mind will be focused on that hunger. Also talked about the growling stomach, the thinking about hunger, the empty stomach, just everything, just being hungry. They'll be focused on everything but the schoolwork at hand because their hunger is so extreme. Feeding America also backs me up by saying that children need food so they can concentrate on their school instead of their hunger. So this is also the point I talked about earlier, and this talks a lot about the need and effect of hunger for students in school because they want the food so bad. Today, I tried to persuade you about why public school lunches should be free for students. I have told you this because a school lunch is some students' only meal for the day. A decent amount of students cannot afford a daily lunch, and without lunch, students will not perform at their highest potential, says a lot of studies that I have found. It should be obvious to you that public school students should receive a free lunch because with that, children can grow into more intellectual adults because if they are eating, they should not be focused on like their empty stomachs, they'll be focused on their schoolwork. And being focused on their schoolwork means they will retain more information than they were when they're hungry because their stomachs are full and they can focus on that instead of their hunger. So I think that giving free lunches is the solution, and this will make the world a greater place for generations to come because they will be more smart and be able to handle problems better on full stomachs rather than empty stomachs.